to Attack of the Show! TV's always talking about all the stuff you care about. No, it's not weird. We're not replacing Kevin and Olivia. They're on assignment in Jamaica. I'm Chris Hardwick, and this, of course, is the lovely Anna David. She's going to be here today.
Yes, it is great to be here. It's Monday, March 31st, and we are...
That's right. On the show today, a man making love to a picnic table because it was tender. That's going to be in Around the Net. We're going to reveal a video of a very indecent exposure incident that occurred with a metal table in Ohio. Plus, in the loop, we're going to talk with the founding editor of lifehacker.com. Today, we're going to find out the secret life hacking tips that will surely make you smarter, faster, better, and dare I say, superhuman.
Also, we're showing off the best April Fool's Day computer prank. Your coworkers, your friends, and your family tomorrow. Make sure to take notes. Then it's time for some sex advice, when we'll finally answer that age-old question: what do you do if your girlfriend has a shallow vagina? Find out when we go in your pants.
Do you mean like if it puts materialism above like feelings, like that kind of shallowness? You know what I'm talking about
yes,
that?
like the women you date.
By the way, if you guys don't keep that energy the whole show, it's going to be really awkward. Time for the business of the day as we run down the top 5 things on the web right now.
And because we love you, we are going Around the Net.
We're starting things off today with a bar trick you can play on an unsuspecting friend that will probably leave them sterile for life, which may or may not be a good thing depending on if your bud should be procreating.
This prank has been around for a while, but seeing it work to perfection is always comedy gold. Here's how it works. Just place a coin down on the pool table and then convince a friend that you're his friend. Hilarity ensues.
Alright, now, I need you to hold these balls just right here on the edge.
Where at?
Just right here on the edge. Just barely hold them like that right there. I'm going to shoot from down there, and I'm going to make both balls with one shot. Be sure to keep your fingers that way. I don't want to hit your fingers. Okay. I'm going to use a quarter to help me get the right angle on them to go. Ready?
That worked perfectly. The 2 balls went into the holes.
Coming in at number 4, we're heading into some anonymous garage, probably somewhere in the South, for a self-proclaimed world record.
That's right. I happen to be Southern, so I can back that up. You know, the best booze drinking always takes place in the garage, but getting drunk amongst oil... What? That didn't even make any sense. Getting drunk amongst oil stains and camping gear wasn't enough for one husky fellow. Then he put his brain to work.
How many? 16.
Indeed, that was impressive. But why did he stop at 16?
I'm not sure, but because we have to assume that's a world record, today we have our own production assistant, Derek, to challenge it.
Yeah. Derek! All right, Derek, let's make it happen.
Let's do this. On your mark, get set, go.
Because March was National Brain Injury Month. We would have remembered earlier, but, well, you know, the fun around here is crushing cans on your noggin.
That's part of the problem, not the solution.
Okay, and at number 3 today is a live musical performance from a Korean television show. The front woman is very nicely dressed and very pretty and rocks out to a beautiful song that I'm sure is probably lovely to Koreans.
Now, in any other clip, she would be the star, but she might as well be invisible because she's got a Muppet drumming for her.
Sounds so familiar. Was that Enter Sandman? That guy is actually the Korean Tommy Lee. Oh, you should totally see his sex tape. It's really long. I mean, the tape. The tape is long. He's not... Oh my gosh, I've gotten myself into a pickle.
Speaking of sex tapes, you do not want to see it. Number 2, today we have a fella that was taped humping the patio furniture somewhere in suburban Ohio.
We're not kidding.
Captain Matt Johnson from the Bellevue Police Department tells us Price lives within eyeshot of Ridge Elementary School, and on 4 separate occasions between the hours of 10:30 a.m. and noon, an anonymous neighbor this year, as late as March 14th, videotaped Price walking out onto his deck and standing this round metal table on its side.
The first video we had, he was completely nude, and he used the hole for the umbrella and have sex with the table.
It's a case that has police in this small town shaking their heads in disbelief.
Once you think you've seen it all, something else comes along.
Wow. Why the patio furniture, you may ask yourself? Because the indoor furniture is a prude. Now, Anna, as a sexpert that you are, do you think this story is a little on the weird side?
It's not that hard to understand when you see the table.
Whoa. You ever thought about getting into modeling? Tonight on ATN After Hours. Oh, what? Don't be shy. All right, it's weird now.
Totally unrelated news. Tetanus is now officially an STD.
That's right. And now the best thing on the net today comes from the home of some of the worst things in life, New Jersey.
In cold, snowy weather, it's recommended that you take the time to warm up your vehicle and then scrape any ice from your windows and mirrors before you begin driving, right?
Did you awe New Jersey? You've been there, right? Okay, obviously not everyone has time to scrape all the stuff off their windshield, like this free spirit.
Oh,
yes! And I got a video camera!
That's amazing.
Hitting the pole is pretty great in its own right, but this video has something extra even that makes it special.
That's right, the guy with the camera keeps rolling. That makes him today's ATN Hero of the Day. Luckily, this looks like some kind of auto shop class. Perhaps they can fix the car. The lamppost looks like a total loss. In any event, the long tracking shot into the building was steady, well composed, and captured the drama of the moment. Eat your heart out, Alfonso Cuarón!
To get your daily viral fix and sign up for the Around the Net podcast, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet.
Bon Jovi! All right, also, don't forget to catch tonight's 10 o'clock show featuring our new ATN After Hours segment, No Picnic Tables. We'll have exclusive videos, though, tonight, featuring a video of 2 smoking hot bikini models wrestling at a beach. Wow. That's where sexy things happen.
If you say so. Right now, time for the only news you need to know.
There's sand in my pants right now. Here's Layla Cayley in the feed headlines.
Thanks, guys. Here's what's coming up in the feed. First, the rights to Superman are reverting to the people who created him 70 years ago. Plus, we've got a roundup of some of the hacking shenanigans happening on the web this month. And Ridley Scott is teaming up with Leo DiCaprio to bring a sci-fi classic to the big screen. It's all coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, back to you guys.
Why, thanks, Layla. Now, it's no secret that tech consumes a lot of people. Vote and register for AOTS live news alerts. Still ahead, we're going to see how our virtual audience feels about the new Knight Rider series that's on the way. And the stick cam crowd weighs in on a possible Justice League movie without Superman.
Can't do it. Then we got the best April Fool's Day pranks for Computer and Geek. And Anna will go in your pants and tell you what to do if you hate condoms. Or if I hate condoms. Stick around. I really don't like them.
The audience.
Around the Net is brought to you by MLB 08 The Show. Nothing gets you closer. Only on PlayStation.
They don't give out varsity letters in Wii tennis. The Morgan Minute begins in 60 seconds. Yes, the Wii's motion-sensitive controller has revolutionized gaming, but it is not exercise. I'm as happy as anybody to see titles like Wii Fit and Wii Healthy used in hospitals and nursing homes. Making regular activity fun is a great therapeutic tool for people recovering from obesity or ennui. But the rest of you, get outside. There is a big, beautiful world out there. It's got sunshine and oxygen and people you can talk to, no headset required. With any luck, some of them might even date you. Enjoy your games, I do, but the most important combo move I ever learned was to put the controller down and leave the house for a while. The game will still be there when you get back, promise. I'm Morgan, and that has been a minute.
America.
Wow, man, it's 420 on G4. They're rolling dank nugs of awesomeness all day. First up, it's the Stoner Classic Half-Baked. Then it's Attack of the Show from Jamaica, man, and a new Code Monkey special.
420, dude!
That's Half-Baked, AOTS from Jamaica, Code Monkeys, and a bunch of other gnarly stuff. All starting April 20th at 1 on G4. How many other networks would do this? 0 many. That's how many, man.
Welcome back. It's time for the day's biggest headline.
Here's the only news you need to know.
Intended here in Hollywood, Apple.
The Feed with Layla Cayley.
All right, guys, let's get to it. It's been 71 years since Jerome Siegel and Joel Shuster sold the rights to Superman, and now their heirs are working to get the Man of Steel back into the family. Last week, they won a major battle against Warner Brothers, and the rights to the character may revert back to the Siegels in 2013. Warner Brothers could end up owing both families profits from Superman Returns, and the ruling could affect the follow-up film that Bryan Singer has in development now, as well as the Justice League movie. And here's a Feed hack roundup of the day. Hackers inserted JavaScript and animation into the Epilepsy Foundation website forums, causing many users to have seizures. Over at Facebook, they're shoring up loopholes that allowed anyone to break into accounts to expose private pictures or change their friends' moods. And right now, there's a large-scale web attack on millions of web pages. Hackers are inserting malicious code when they plug keywords into internal search engines of trusted websites like usatoday.com and walmart.com. These searches get cached by Google, and the next person to search for the same keyword gets a page of viruses. PC users, be careful out there. I got an Apple, so it's all good. Despite the hacker problem, Google has been recruited by US intelligence agencies to help them better process and share information they gather up about suspects. Google will be providing search features for a site called Intellipedia, where agents can post information that can be accessed by their colleagues. Depending on their clearance, agents can log on and gain access to 3 levels of information: top secret, secret, and sensitive but unclassified. NBC is set to announce their new schedule on Wednesday, and one of the shows on that roster is Knight Rider. The 2-hour pilot that aired in February got ratings that were good enough for the network to order up a series, and it could get a Friday night time slot. Another show that the network is excited about is My Own Worst Enemy, which stars Christian Slater as a man who leads a double life as a spy. The network is keeping a lid on specifics, and of course, anything that is announced this week can always change if execs don't like the way things are shaping up, but we'll definitely keep you posted. It looks like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World will finally make it to the big screen. Ridley Scott and Leo DiCaprio are teaming up to make the adaptation, with DiCaprio playing the lead character John the Savage. For many years now, Huxley's widow resisted allowing a film to be made. She felt that technology wasn't ready to make the futuristic world look real. There were also arguments over royalty rights, but now everyone is getting along. We don't have a release date yet, but you'll know as soon as we know. That's it for today, guys, but don't worry, the feed doesn't stop here. Get all the news you need to know anytime at g4tv.com. Check it out. I'm Layla Cayley, and you've just been fed.
And now it's time to check in with Morgan Webb. She's got today's breaking gaming stories.
Let's find out what X-Play's got coming up after this show.
Hey guys, coming up next on X-Play, brand new details on downloadable content for Army of Two. And we have some fresh info on one of the year's most anticipated games, Radical's Prototype. Plus, we take a look at the top 5 developers to watch in 08. Find out what games we're looking forward to this year. All that and more coming up at 8. Back to you.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Morgan. And now, warm up your stick cam.
It's time to hear the opinions of our virtual audience. Do you retain things in your brain? Because if you do, you know that in the feed we told you about the rights to Superman having shifted from Warner Brothers to now include the creator's family. Jeremy, how do you think this is going to affect the quality of future Superman projects?
Well, really, there may not be any. Personally, I think there probably will still do some, but it's definitely not going to be as soon as some of the original plans, I'd say, especially on the next one Bryan Singer had planned.
Right.
The major delays there.
I mean, do you think it's weird? You know, like when you get a family involved, they're obviously very personal about it. So do you think that's going to change the direct? I mean, like, I'm kind of hoping for Chinese Superman, but I don't know. I mean, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, they may want to be directly involved in any production and be more picky on the script, which could affect it in a good way or a bad way. You know, they keep more true to the comic book series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Warner plans to appeal the decision, but it's more likely that they will scrap Superman projects altogether until this is settled. In terms of the Justice League movie, should they go ahead without Superman?
Absolutely not. They'd be called the Justiceless League. I mean, Superman's the heart of the team there.
Wait, I think you're onto something, Jeremy. The Justiceless League. It's just so stupid it might work.
Earlier, we also reported on the recent rampage of websites being hacked. Dave, what do you think about website hacking?
Well, I think website hacking in general is just a way that people are letting, companies and website masters know of security exploits and exploiting it.
Dave, how do you not fall into the time portal behind your head?
It's my transport device.
Last week was the first time actual physical harm has come from a hack as hackers attacked an epilepsy support group's message boards with flashing images. I mean, Dave, come on. When does this go too far with hacking?
Well, I mean, I don't think they quite understood how serious it would be, but I kind of can see the humor in it. I know that...
You're a cold, heartless bastard, Dave.
I think Dave was the one.
Dave, did you do this?
No, it wasn't me, but I just still find the humor. I mean, we need to take some stuff not so seriously. I know,
like epilepsy.
Like
You're
seizures.
right. You're right. Some other things not to take seriously: cancer, AIDS, death. You're right. A whole slew of things that we. I think it was way too far. I mean, there had to be some malice behind it. And guys, seriously, have fun on the web, but stay away from epilepsy for crap's sake. And finally, after we had a one to grow on moment, let's just touch on Knight Rider for a second, getting picked up this fall on NBC. First of all, why? Second of all, Chris, are you as excited about Knight Rider becoming a series as I am?
I'm excited and everything, and it's really cool, but it's a double-edged sword, There's a lot of problems that could arise from bringing back an old show like that, and trying to, mess with the original formula.
Right. I don't know. What were you a fan of the original Knight Rider?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was kind of cool in the lame way, which is, what I'm worried that they might damage, making it way too high-tech, CGI kind of crap.
Yeah, companies don't understand. You don't have to over-CG everything, Like, you don't have to showboat that you've been spend millions of dollars on CG effects. Just write good shows.
Yeah, that's definitely not the point of Knight Rider, was the awesome action scenes. That was not really the thing, It was more the story and, that kind of stuff, not explosions.
I think it was actually less the story with Knight Rider, but that was just...
So, Chris...
Well, the kind of people who appreciate those kind of stories and get into it, that's the kind of person.
Okay, you're just very vocal about your dislike for Knight Rider. Is there anything they could do to fix it?
2 words. Robot Hasselhoff. That's all I want. I just got mad at Knight Rider this year. I really wanted to see it pay off, and it didn't for me.
Well, that's it for today.
Oh, virtual audience, you are now just audience. I'm sorry, that's show business for you. Go back to your lives. Hey, you know what else show people like? They like their wacky tobacco. April 20th is coming up. It's like St. Patrick's Day with weed instead of beer. And G4's got some really good rolled together during 15 hours of 420 coverage. Kicking off the day is the Stoner Classic Half Baked. And this year, Attack of the Show heads down to Jamaica for some reason.
And Code Monkeys returns with all new episodes. And Reefy's Madhouse, a special 420 take on the classic Reefer Madness. Catch G4's 420 special on April 20th. Check out g4tv.com/420 for info and updates. Still ahead, in the loop, we talk to the founding editor of lifehacker.com to learn the secret life hacking tech tips guaranteed to improve your life or your money back.
And you are not alone if you can't figure out what's up with Japan. We'll look at that country's first 300-mile-per-hour maglev train and meet some rodents that have been adorably trained to use rakes. Stick around.
If you... I was high-fived the other day. It felt weird. Is the high five out of style?
No way!
Wait, that's a high 10. Okay. Ew, that did feel weird.
I'll call you.
Well, for asking that question today, you're getting a T-Mobile Hotspot at Home prize pack and a couple $100 towards the T-Mobile at-home service.
That
Pretty
was
good.
weird.
I still feel weird about it.
Yeah, the pack includes 2 cordless phones and the wireless router. With it, you can make unlimited nationwide calling from your home for only $10 a month. And best of all, you get to keep your number. Congrats, Preston. You reminded us that high-fiving is weird. Especially with a chest bump.
We don't need to practice anything else.
Right.
Thank you. It's hard enough for us to know what the hell is happening in our own culture, let alone a Japanese one that's easily 100 years in the future.
That's right, it's true. Japan has it all. Interesting food, cool gadgets, claustrophobic rooms, adorable creatures with big eyes. But there's so much more that's up with Japan. New research from Japan's Institute of Physical and Chemical Research shows that rodents can learn how to wield tools with proper training. In a series of experiments conducted over a 60-day period, researchers taught 6 small rats to use a miniature rake to obtain food. Awesome. Each rat was placed on one side of a fence with gaps large enough for their front legs to fit through, and food was placed out of reach on the opposite side. A tiny rake was positioned nearby, and after 60 days of practice, all 6 rats learned to use it to pull food within reach. This is the first known case of rodents using tools. Now, Japan has had high-speed trains since the 1970s and has been testing magnetic levitation, also known as maglev trains, since the 1990s. However, Japan still doesn't have a maglev in operation. In fact, the only commercially operated maglev train in the world is in Shanghai, China. However, earlier this month, construction finally began on the first maglev line in Japan. The new Shinkansen line will carry 100,000 passengers daily at speeds of 300 miles per hour. More than 60% of the route will be in deep tunnels through the mountains of central Japan. Sounds great, but the maglev line isn't scheduled for completion until 2025. Simroid, the silicone-skinned, pneumatically powered female patient robot, is designed to help train dental students. We've featured her in Around the Net, and she recently turned up with her creator, Dr. Naotoke Shibui, on the Fuji TV show Indainaru Mirai Zukan. The Simroid is modeled after a 28-year-old woman, and her fear of dentists and sensitivity to pain have earned her the nickname Pain Girl. Dr. Shibui also explained that the Simroid is female because female patients must be treated with more sensitivity than male patients. With sensors embedded in her chest, Simroid can teach dentists in training to pay close attention to where they place their elbows. And that's what's up with Japan. I hope they put some of those pain-sensing robots in front of that maglev train. That would be awesome.
For what, exactly?
To prove how awesome life is. You know, maybe, no, thanks, one person. Maybe they can get the rats with the rakes to clean up the mess. God, they're so adorable.
I know. If they weren't so cute, it wouldn't be as disgusting as it really is.
It wouldn't be Japanese, that's right.
It's an election year, so here's some voting trivia. Convicted felons are not allowed to vote.
Boo. Here's another piece of voting trivia. Most of the people voting in our user-created contest are convicted felons.
Nature must be balanced. It's almost time for you to help us decide the grand prize winner of our user-created contest, who will receive our grand prize, a huge 58-inch plasma TV.
That's right. Because we don't want you guys to walk into the polls uninformed, we've compiled the finalist videos to shed some light on who should win.
Our first challenge was to create a short horror film, and Kevin from Baker City, Oregon, slashed the competition.
How did he do it, you ask? Well, in his video, he showed us the scariest thing that could ever happen to a guy who still lives in his parents' basement.
What is this? Come on.
Oh, it's dead!
They clapped for him.
Yeah, good. For our second challenge, we provided you guys with Attack of the Show footage and dared you to launch a smear campaign against Kevin and Olivia.
We learned a lot about them those 2 weeks, but Stephen from Tyler, Texas, claimed gold when he revealed the darker side of Kevin and Olivia.
Kevin and Olivia, hosts of Attack of the Show. They claim they're the source for all you need to know. But how much do you really know about them? Kevin Pereira. Here's recently uncovered footage of a certain cable TV star at a local strip club. Let's not forget his partner in crime, Olivia Munn. Why don't you ask her alias? Oliver McHammer.
When we asked for your 80s video game commercials, we weren't quite sure what to expect.
Luckily, Alan from Los Angeles was able to create a game that I actually would have wasted away my youth with.
It's Gorilla driving a rocket, straight from the makers of ColecoVision. Hey you, stop watching TV and eating that Danish. You want to get up, turn the TV knob to channel 3, and play Gorilla driving a rocket. It looks like this. Look closer. Wow! Buy now and get a free lettuce patch. Stop!
And finally, the holidays are normally a time for good cheer, awkward family moments, and only a moderate amount of eggnog, the best kind of nog, by the way.
But James from Southfield, Michigan, he decided to kick everything up a notch with his adorable new Christmas mascot. He's like your embarrassing drunk uncle, but without any of the inappropriate touching.
Oh.
I'd like to start off by reading some Christmas carols from some of the children. The kids like to write in and ask me some questions, and I give their answers. So just not be stupid. Who put these motherfuckers so far away? Look at this. Yeah!
Later on this week, it's going to be up to you guys to vote and narrow down the field of the top 3 finalists, one of which will become our grand prize winner and walk home with that obscenely huge 58-inch 1080p Samsung Plasma.
You'll see the last 4 user-created finalists tomorrow. You will get to decide who deserves the TV. And we are not done yet. The answers to your sex questions are in your pants. Today we're talking about condom haters and what to do when your special lady friend has a shallow vagina.
No diving! Plus, if you're heading to China for the Olympics, you want to see today's epic fail. It could save your life, so stick around.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, ward life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, ward life.
Get your career you'll be buying direct, so call now.
Very important for us to hear from you, from the army of monitor heads, with our video viewer mail.
Now, I usually only do this with Olivia, Chris.
That's hot.
But let's get an in-your-pants question answered for Joseph.
I went out with this girl like 6 years ago. She's the love of my life. I still love her. But recently we've been hanging out again and talking, and all these feelings come back. And I told her I wanted to get back with her and how I felt, but she said she was trying to get with someone else. Nah, I don't know what to do.
Chris, you're relatively inexperienced at answering these questions.
It's
I'm just
true.
going to show you how it's done.
Okay.
I think you need to give up. She
Really?
wants to get with someone else. I mean, and also love. I mean, people throw that love word around so much, and
I love that you said that.
I think he loves me. I think that's what he's going to say.
Oh my God.
But I do think that, you know, you got to go with, you know, if she's saying she wants to get with someone else, that's probably not.
That's a pretty clear message. There's not a subtext there of like maybe she's
not playing games.
Yeah, I would recommend purchasing Greg Barron's "She's Just Not," he's just not that into you, and replacing all the he's with she's, and then reading it that way.
That's harsh.
Is it? And he seemed like such a sweet guy too.
I know.
I'm sorry. It's a bummer and it happens, but it was 6 years ago.
There's a better woman out there for Joseph.
There is a better woman
That's
out
what I
there
think.
for you, Joseph, and you're going to have to find her and pin her down in your basement and make her love you. Or I hear that in Japan they have a robot that feels pain. You could go over there and try that out too. Joseph's not the only one with some sex questions.
That's right. Before Olivia hopped on the plane for Jamaica, I hate her, we sat down and went in your pants to root out some quality sex advice.
Every morning I say to myself, Attack of the Show viewers are such a
viewers on Earth.
I do say that. A lucky bunch is what I was going to say. Now, they are informed, entertained, and also amazing at having sex. I know this because you get your learn on with the brilliant, beautiful Miss Anna David. Welcome back, Anna David.
Wow, God.
Do you like that?
I do.
I wrote it in the car on the way here.
Yeah.
Took a lot of energy.
I thought you meant it, too.
I meant every word.
Yeah.
Now, Anna, you're here to answer questions, so we're going to get into it right now. Our first question comes from a guy who really doesn't like wearing a glove.
I don't really like using condoms. I don't really enjoy myself when I do. But if a girl is on birth control, what kind of risks am I still taking?
Guys like STDs too? That's so stupid. I mean, just wrap it up. I mean, I don't know how many, I mean, there are so many girls who get pregnant just because they want to keep the guy or want to get some of the money, and you don't use a condom. There it is. You get an STD. I mean, there are so many STDs out there right now, and it's so easy to get it.
Yeah, I mean, the simple fact is either learn to deal with condoms or wait until you find the girl you want to impregnate, who you also know is disease-free, and then have sex without the glove.
More
I mean,
importantly,
that's pretty much it.
To any female fans that are watching, and I know we got some out there, recognize that guy's face. Don't have sex with him because he's not using condoms. It's very important to use condoms.
It is.
Learn it.
You know, girls can absolutely, yes, they can get pregnant if they're still on the pill. But I think more important than just going around and asking girls if they're on the pill is always shielding it. I mean, you have no idea, you know, gonorrhea, chlamydia. I mean,
and just so you know, it's not just a pill and it goes away. Sometimes it itches and it burns and it hurts.
And it's for life.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right. Now, our next question comes from a guy who can't quite get after it the way he'd really like to.
My girlfriend has a shallow vagina. When we have sex, she says it hurts. It's really frustrating because I have to be so controlled and can't really go for it. Are there positions we can try that will allow us a normal sex life?
That's a great question, because is that true that a woman's vagina can be shallow, especially if you're able to have children and birth a human through it?
I mean, it can be true. I think it's far more likely that she's just not lubricated enough. Unless the doctor went and told her she has a shallow vagina, if you're just assuming because it hurts that must be the case, I think always make sure there's enough lubrication. Ideally, by getting her ready for sex, you know, in a loving, tender way, however that is.
Or using products.
Or using products.
Can it also be the fact that is she too tense and she's nervous if the muscles are stopping?
Constricted, yeah. And I mean, if you're too tense, you're not going to have enough lubrication down there also. But I do think that even, okay, let's say you tried all that already. This is old news. There are things you can do. You can put a pillow, in the old missionary, you can put a pillow underneath her, so she's prepped up a little bit. This gives like an extra inch or two.
Okay.
And also, if she's on top, yes, that sometimes can go kind of deep, but she can control the movement. And, you know, but I mean, check out, make sure it's not something you're not doing. That's causing this.
Or maybe it's not your fault because maybe she's just not, she's the kind of girl that doesn't, you know, really get that lubricated that easily.
Definitely. And also, you know, younger girls, they're not as aware of their sexuality. They're don't know exactly what pleases them. They're shyer about sort of getting what they want in bed. So it could be a result of that. All right. But yes, you can have a normal sex life.
All right, try some products first and then let us know how that goes. All right, thanks so much, Anna. You guys visit AnnaDavid.com to know more about Miss Anna David and to get even more answers to your sex questions. Subscribe to the AOTS In Your Pants podcast. It's available anytime at g4tv.com/podcast.
All right, I have a shallow vagina question for you. So I was with a girl recently that had a shallow vagina. It was so shallow that it stuck out about 4 inches, and underneath was what can only be described as external ovaries, and I thought Rick was a weird name for a young girl. Do you have any advice for me?
This wasn't part of the contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess let's just move on.
I think we have some important news. Tomorrow's April Fool's Day.
Yay! I was April Foolsing about the guy that I didn't have sex with.
It's okay, Chris. And Wired just printed an article giving the top 10 April Fool's pranks for nerds. So right now, we're going to look at some of the best they offered up.
That's right. First up, if your coworker steps away from their desk, please take advantage of the opportunity to remap their keyboards using Key Extender. This program is downloadable at easysofts.com.cn, and it's free. You can turn your friend's QWERTY keyboard into a Dvorak or a Coleman layout, or make it so that the Enter key opens his computer's CD tray.
I can only imagine that this will make your coworker feel like they're having a mini stroke.
That's right. And next up, very few people bother with all the bells and whistles that Google has to offer, like, for instance, the language settings. On Google's site, there's actually a teeny tiny link that says Preferences. Click on that, and it'll give you the option to switch up the interface language. Reset it, and suddenly your friend only gets Google in Klingon or pictograms.
What about searching? Can I mess with search results too?
Oh, yes, you can, Anna David. You can change things up so that it only returns results in specific languages. And finally, the way to make someone's head explode is the old screenshot as a desktop trick. It's pretty simple. You take a screenshot of their desktop using the print screen key, then Control-V in MS Paint and save. Then go into their desktop properties and make it their wallpaper. Don't forget to hide the real icon somewhere in the C drive. Stay away from my computer, though, please.
You'll know if it's worked based on the amount of WTFs.
WTFs.
That you hear spewing from that cubicle next to you.
That's right.
Tomorrow?
What is it? It's April Fool's Day.
Yeah, let the prank wars begin.
I told you their energy was going to drop off by the end of the show because they were so energy heavy at the top. Nah, suck it, you guys. Of course, we don't condone any of those pranks we just talked about, or any pranks. However, if you pull some pranks or get pranked, send us some video viewer mail. We're dying to hear your stories. Other people's Other people's pain is our pleasure. Other people's blah, blah, blah. Coming up tomorrow on an all-new attack of the show, Chris Gore is going to be here to review Sweeney Todd and DV Doomsday.
Then in Gadgetron, Chris and I are going to double team. He'll review the Fire TV that brings streaming to the living room. And I'll break out the Oh My God music-powered vibrator.
Yours sounds way more awesome. It's earphones for your vagina. Then on Wednesday, we'll keep things hard and firm. Literally, my band Hard and Firm is going to be here to perform for you live. Oh, you don't mean it.
Go to g4tv.com/AOTS for all the things you saw today and more.
Stick around. An all-new X-Play is up next. Good night, people. All right, so the shallow vagina thing. So, do butts count? Or...
I feel like shallow vagina